Here we have a spreadsheet that has Google's real stock performance starting from August 1st, 2004 through several years of their history, but we don't need to look at the whole history. We have a couple of different values. We have the date, the opening stock price, the high for that day, the low for the day, and the closing price. The volume is just a measure of how much of that stock was traded that day. So we want to create a column chart for the closing stock price in 2005. So going from January 1st, 2005 and ending January 1st, 2006. So let's take a look at that. So we can first select our data. We only want 2005 through, the first day of 2006, and we want the close price. So first I'm going to select that just by highlighting these cells. Then I'm going to hold down the control key, and that's going to let me select a different range of cells that aren't touching. That's the key. Hold down the control key to select two non-contiguous ranges of cells. If I held down the shift key, if I selected all those and I held down the shift key, it would select everything in between. We don't want everything in between. So control key is going to be our friend here. I'm going to make sure I select the right rows. Then I'm going to insert. I'll choose a column chart. A clustered column chart is fine. That looks good. So we should title this chart appropriately so people know what this data is representing. Goog closing stock, and I got the E in there, so I won't type that last one. Goog closing stock price for these days. Okay, so we've got the date, we've got the stock price. So I think these labels make a lot of sense. I don't think we need to add a legend here. The chart is kind of boring though, so let's change it. Let's go to the design tab. A lot of these built-in formatting options are actually pretty good. They just make things look better. I like this because there's some contrast. Colors look good. Now, what might be helpful? So we see that the price is going up. We can add different chart elements. So if I click the plus sign, I might want to add a trend line. That trend line looks good. I'll select it though. And let's see, we can change its color. Make it stand out. This is showing that in 2005, Google's stock price was doing quite well, pretty much doubled. So it was on the rise. Now, if I'm just creating a summary chart right here, this is probably, it's a judgment call. Is this chart formatted well? I think so. I think it's showing the relevant information. I don't think that I need to put the dollar values here because I'm just trying to represent a broad trend, but you could tweak this chart. You could add elements as you saw fit. But that's the basic of creating this chart.